What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Go Battle League event that is happening this weekend that you guys want to take advantage of, talk about the rotation, and also some of the best teams that you guys can use for this event. So let's go ahead and dive right in. This weekend is going to be Go Battle Weekend. That means a whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday, all day long. You guys can do up to 100 battles every single day. So for 2 days in a row. It's also going to give us 4 times Stardust rewards. You'll also be able to get a free themed timed research available to get the Geta style gloves, which are these gloves right here. And then maximum, as you can see, maximum 100 battles. And there will also be a ticket for a themed time research awarding you a Stardust, rare candy, and 1 star piece for $1. Now, the rotation is going to be the Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. So all leagues are available. And something else to notice is during Go Battle Weekend, the following changes will be made to the premium track. You will have a guaranteed rare XL candy for trainers 31 and up for their second win in a set. So if you use a premium pass, you know, when you have the options going for free or going with a premium pass, if you win 2 battles, that second battle will give you rare XL candy, which some of you might want to take advantage of, and others, for everyone else, you below level 30, you'll just get rare candy. And then, yeah, this is going to be interesting. As you can see, this is the rotation that we have right now. This week, honestly, kind of a boring one. Sunshine Cup was interesting for a day or two, but we know how those those metas go, where they just get stale very quickly, or other trainers may just absolutely love it. It is personal preference, but we have all 3 leagues coming back. Now, this weekend is 4 times Stardust, but the whole event is also 4 times. So not only like Saturday and Sunday for Go Battle Weekend, but also the rest of the week. So this is going to be a great opportunity for you guys to dive into whatever league you like. And I know there's a wide range of players out there. Some of you just absolutely love Master League, while some of us love Great League, right? And then there's the people that love Ultra League. I'm just kidding. Ultra League's great. Ultra League's great. But that's our rotation coming up. Those are the rewards. That's what you can look forward to this weekend. So let's talk about some of the best teams. And PvPoke has updated their teams. If you guys go to top performers, up here you go to train top performers. You guys can rotate through the Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. Now, something I want you to note. I've been saying it for a while. Greninja is one of the top performing Pokemon in the meta. Greninja, Superior, and Lantern. I felt it when I used it for the first time, but it is making a serious comeback. And this is going to be the top performing Pokemon. And then we have some of the top performing teams. And would you just look at that? I told you guys it was fresh. I told you it was fresh. Look at this. Greninja, Medicham, and Registeel is the top performing team. Talk about spicy and powerful. So as we can see right here, really good matchups against the meta. Does have a potential struggle against Medicham, obviously because of the dark and steel typing, but you gotta remember, you gotta take all these matchups with a grain of salt. Hydro Cannon letting against a Medicham is gonna hurt. Zap Cannon is gonna hurt. You still have the Mirror Fight, so there is still some protection there. And the only core breakers are looking to be Defense Form, Deoxys, and Trevenant. And even with that, Greninja with Night Slash tears through those with energy, right? I know it has to watch out for Counter and Thunderbolt and has to watch out for Seed Bomb, but ultimately Greninja is a Pokemon where when it gets some energy, it runs away with it. So this team looks incredibly fun. You guys will be seeing me use this one. That is team number 1. Team number 2 is the same team in a different order. So it's Medicham, Greninja, and Registeel. Oh man, this is more of an ABB line. The last one was kind of ABA in terms of order, right? A Greninja, Medicham, and Registeel. This one's more ABB. So it's Medicham on the lead. Same core losses, but this time you keep Greninja hidden in the back and Registeel is your safe swap. There's something to it, right? If Greninja is one of the top performing Pokemon alongside Lantern, and it's on 2 of the top performing teams, which is the same 3 Pokemon in a different order. Doesn't get much better than that. All right, Another team we have Defense Form, Deoxys, Azumarill, and Sableye. This is kind of like a classic go for what is consistent, go for what is strong, go for what has great neutral matchups in the meta, and all three of these Pokemon, rightfully so, have that. They do have quite a few core breakers, as you can see right here, like Lickitung, Serperior, Meganium, Clefable, Galvantula, just to name a few there, and Serperior is definitely risen up in the rankings in terms of usefulness and coverage. It was very fun when I used it myself, but as you can see, Serperior up here is performing very, very well. It's along some incredibly strong Pokemon, and that's because of the Aerial Ace update, right? So it already has Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant, which is a meta core pairing, and then has Aerial Ace for coverage or neutral damage in some situations. So very cool to see there. Next team is going to be Gligar, Dugong, and Lantern. This is actually my team. I made it at the beginning of the season. Other people could have made it as well. But this was one of my very first teams that I made, and it is so, so good, everyone. Now, I didn't have Shadow Gligar. I had a normal Gligar. But essentially, you utilize Gligar as a cover to a lot of the counters to Lantern and Dugong. So we're looking at kind of like grass and electric type Pokemon or fighting type Pokemon like Medicham. You utilize Dugong as the safe swap in order to draw out any potential counters to Lantern. So what you really want to draw out is some of those grass type Pokemon like a Serperior, for example, because then you have Icy Wind and all of that. Now, Medicham is a Pokemon that you need to take down as a team, but honestly, every single one of these Pokemon has the opportunity to do so. Even Dugong on the safe swap could potentially win that. And then, you guys know how it is. Core breakers, looking at Carbink, Medicham, and Steelix, all of these get hit for super effective damage from this team, right? You got Dig, you got Drill Run, you got Surf, you got Aerial Ace for the Medicham. It is a very nice team, and I do have a video on the channel if you guys want to go look for that. I'll put it down in the description so you guys can go check that out. But yeah, this was one of my first teams, and it is great to see that it's being recognized here. It's incredibly strong. All right, we got another Gligar, Lantern, and Lickitung this time. So instead of Dugong, it is the Lickitung. It saves does the same thing, right? It is a Lickitung safe swap to draw out the hardest counters to Lantern because they don't want to keep grass type Pokemon away from Gligar, right? So you kind of draw that out and let Lantern sweep with this team. Similar core breakers, as before. The big ones, Carbink, Medicham, and Steelix, as we can see right there. But again, you have great coverages regardless. Moving to the next one, we do have, where are we at right here? So Gligar, Dugong, and Lickitung. So, like, these combinations are just fantastic. Gligar and a water seem to be pairing very well, and then both tanky water, so Dugong or Lantern, and then a Lickitung. So you do have great options. I'm sure it's like similar coverages right there. You do have great options with these three teams based on what you have access to, right? Lickitung, Dugong, and Lantern. Next one is going to be Serperior, Dugong, and Medicham. That is going to be very, very strong. Obviously, great coverages against the meta, kind of an ABA setup where Serperior and Medicham share similar weaknesses to flying type Pokemon, but Medicham does have an opportunity to fight back, so be interesting to see how that one is played. But overall, looking pretty strong. Does have some core breakers here with Pokemon like Frostlass and the goat here, Alolan and Marowak. But overall, pretty good. Now, that's the Great League. I just wanted to show you guys this because the teams were updated, and it's very cool to see the Greninja just come up to the top. I mean, who would have thought? Those teams right there, that looks fun. All right, now you can change it by league. So we're going to take a look at Ultra League, and this was changed as well. We do have Giratina Altered coming up at number 1. With Registeel, Tapu Fini, and Alolan Muck and Golisopod. And looking at some of the top teams right here, we do have Poliwrath, Shadow Drapion, and Alolan Muck. So a ABB double poison backline, which is double poison, double dark backline, which is very interesting. Has great coverage against the Ultra League meta, of course. I sadly don't have the Drapion. I would love to give this team a go. But we do have quite a few core breakers here and things you need to look out for. I think some of the biggest ones that are most common, probably the Toxicroak and maybe Nidoqueen are going to be the most common that you see, as they do have access to Earth Power and can do pretty well in the mirror fight against the Poliwrath. So, interesting setup right there. We do have Dragonite, Golisopod, and Tapu Fini. This team actually looks pretty powerful, as Dragonite's biggest weaknesses can be potentially neutrally covered in the back, right? Outside of like Fairy, for example. But you do have that ice resistances in the back with the water team. But there are some core breakers here, like a Registeel. But you also got to consider that Dragonite does have superpower. Golisopod has the liquidation. Sorry, I can remember. And Tapu Fini does have Surf. So there is play there. And it's going to be a team effort to take down Registeel. All right, moving to the next one, Virizion, or actually Steelix, Tapu Fini, and Virizion. This is a classic. This has been basically a staple meta team from the beginning. It has probably some of the best coverages against the whole meta. And your core breakers here are something like a Toxicroak and a Serperior. And it's a very strong, very interesting team if you guys can build it. I recently was able to build it myself, so I might give it a try this weekend for Go Battle Days, or Go Battle Weekends, I should say. But you do need to watch out for Toxicroak. And we'll go with the final one here, Dragonite, Cobalion, Registeel. I think Cobalion has still been widely overlooked. I think I skipped one right there, but that's okay. Cobalion has been widely overlooked as of late. I think it's still extremely meta and extremely strong. It's that fighting steel-type Pokemon with Double Kick, Sacred Sword, and Stone Edge. Very good coverages against the meta. Does need to watch out for Poliwrath and Nidoqueen being probably the most common that you are going to see. If you see this Pokemon, ask that trainer how did the routes go, because I can't get it to work, but that's just me. Overall, these teams, if we can look here, there was a Virizion, Greedent, and Steelix one as well. Overall, these teams are pretty strong. And if we look at Master League as well, I personally don't dabble in Master League. That's just personal preference because I don't like to fork out a ton of money to get these Pokemon to be able to play Master League. That's just me. I know you can go the free-to-play route with the free raids, but that does take a long time, especially with XL Candy. So this is here for you. I'm not going to deep dive into it because I don't play Master League, so I don't want to try to pretend like I know how all this works out. Granted, it is Pokemon Go, and I'm aware of these Pokemon and the movesets and the typings, but you guys can see how this pairs out. And I also don't do Master League because I don't want you to feel FOMO if I'm constantly posting about it and make you feel pressured to buy as well. This is, again, no discredit to anyone who does decide to purchase these things or play Master League. It is completely up to you, but I know some people are in situations where that is probably not the best route. And I just don't want to feed into the FOMO. So that's how I do it. I've seen questions about that over the years. That's just why you guys never see me do Master League. I used to do Master League when it was level 40. That was before XL Candy. Back in the day, the Premier Cup was like my thing. But yeah, you guys can see these teams. You can see how strong they are. One Pokemon I think is really cool is the Solgaleo. I think that Pokemon is just aesthetically very pleasing to me. I really like the Alola generation with Alolan Marowak and Solgaleo. Those two Pokemon are just mwah, chef's kiss, you know? Very, very good. So you guys can go check this out. Again, is in top performers underneath train, and you can sort it by Great League, Ultra League, or Master League. Get some team ideas. If you're rocking the Great League this weekend, I think the Greninja, Medicham, Registeel teams, the Gligar plus double tank teams, Lantern, Dugong, and Lickitung, and the Superior team all look very strong. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.